Hi everyone, I'm Liz Strauss, the Teen/Outreach Services Manager at the Dover Public Library, and today I'm going to show you how I color a dragon. So this is a kind of condensed version of how I do my dragons, kind of the quick and easy method for you guys. Today we're going to be using the free program Fire Alpaca. And I like to use Fire Alpaca because it can open and save Photoshop files. So it is very compatible with other programs that your other dragon colorists may be using. So this is the adult template, and this is available through our Google Drive. I usually start with the adult form because it has all of the pieces that we will need. Some of the other forms do not have everything, and you'll see what I mean as we go on. So I'm just gonna design a dragon here. I'm gonna start with picking out a body color. My favorite color is blue, so I'm just gonna pick out a blue. I have a pen here, and I know this is gonna be like really weird, but I have a giant pen, and I've selected the body color layer. These are all your layers in this little window here. And I've selected body color, and I'm just going to color it. And that changes. It actually colors this whole layer, but because we have clipping checked, it actually just does the body color. And why I do that is actually a shortcut for later. We'll get to that in a minute. So next I go up to my bod shade, so my body shading. And this is just a layer with a little bit of shading on it. I'm just going to play with it a little bit and see where I want it. And I'm just playing with this opacity and seeing where I want it, just where it looks good. And same thing with the bod light. So we're just using these layers and the opacity up here to give the dragon a little bit of depth and shading. So next we have the wings. So I have two different layers with the wings. I have a layer where it's connected with the spikes and the toes, and I have a layer with just the wings. And this is just something that has come about from the mini dragons I have colored, and I just left it in there. I thought it might be helpful for you guys as well. So if you don't need if you want your wings and spikes and toes to all be the same color, you can come up here and click this little circle beside just wing, and that makes it invisible. So now all of that will be the same color. So I'm going to tweak that just a little bit. I'm working on a different computer than I normally am, so I'm not sure about my color scheme. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to the block of color. I think it needs to be a touch more green. There we go. We're just gonna color in that whole layer. Now, all of a sudden, my wings, my spikes, my toes, everything is all colored. I'll go up to wing shade, and play with that. Go to wing highlight. We can make it really bright, we can make it really light. And we can ignore the wing because we already have it colored. We'll go up to eye, which is next. And I'm thinking maybe violet. So same thing, I'm still on that really big brush. We're just gonna swoosh, swoosh, swoosh all over it. And I am doing all of this with just a mouse. I'm gonna zoom in. I'm just doing that with the mouse wheel. You can also do that up here in the navigator. Zoom in or zoom out. And eye shade. Oh, it was invisible. Highlight. And I usually leave the eye detail line. That's this guy right here. I usually leave that alone. And there the air conditioning kicked on. I apologize about that. And now we're up to the horns. I think here I'm starting to get a feel for what this dragon is, and I'm thinking I want to keep him pretty simple, him or her, you know, we don't want to assume anything here. So I think I'm going to use this same color that we used for the wings and the spikes for the horns. So I'm going to click down here on that layer. And I'm going to go on my keyboard, Control C. So that's our copy keyboard shortcut. Now we'll go back up here to where our horns were. We'll go Control V. And then we can get rid of the original layer there with the trash can. And now they are green. And we can play with the, oh, it's invisible again. And we can play with the shading. So there's that. And now we move on up to the belly. And I do kind of like purple there, but I think I want a different shade. Maybe kind of more of a pink, maybe darker. Maybe something like that. Look. Maybe. Ooh. Yeah, maybe like that. Oh, so it looks kind of similar to someone. We may have done a dragon like this before, but that's okay. Oh, missed a spot over here. Doesn't really matter, but we'll do it anyway. We've got the belly color all fixed up. Over here, play with the shadows. Okay. And now the lines. Now the last step is the line work. Now, if you want to leave it here, I don't think anybody's going to notice, for the most part. Like, I don't think any kids are going to notice a difference. When I do mine, I do color the lines. So, on your line layer, over here, you want to double check that Protect Alpha is checked. Now, what this means is that we cannot color on here except where it is already colored. So you cannot mess up the lines, is what I'm saying here. Well, what you can do instead, you can turn them blue or make them match your dragon. So I'll show you just in case. So what I do, I take my eyedropper, which two ways to do that. You can click over here in the eyedropper tool on the left, and you can click, and that gives you the color that you were clicking on. Or the shortcut is to right click the color that you are aiming for. And I go for a dark part of the image. So this is about the darkest part of the dragon. This is in a shaded area of the body of the dragon. And then I go a little bit darker in our color area. And then I go to our pen, and for the first time I change the size of the pen. And this is the first time that we actually need some detail work. And you can go along and you can trace all of the lines. Okay. So I think there's all the blue. On Fire Alpaca, there's this little navigation window where you can take and drag this red little box. This shows you where you are on your picture, on your project. So, helpful little tidbit. So now we'll go to the green. Just get darker than our darkest point here. And we'll start tracing the green. And because we don't have to worry about messing up the line art, we don't have to be too precise. Just have to be careful where it gets close to other lines. Again, I am doing all of this with a mouse, kind of just to prove it's possible. It is easier with the graphics tablet, but you don't have to have one of those. Okay. So there's our adult dragon all colored. But to save my wrist, I'm probably not going to do the line work on the other ones. But that's how you do that. Alright. So now, very important step. We're going to file Save As. Okay, to me this one has kind of an ocean vibe. So I'm going to go ahead and call it an ocean dragon. I'm going to show you guys how to copy this dragon design into the other forms. So, for some reason I like to work from the bottom to the top. I don't know why. It's just how I like to do it. As you go, you'll find your own method of doing this, I'm sure. So now it comes in why I do it this way with the different layer. So, and it's so I can just do this. I click on the body color. And sometimes it's not labeled body color, but I click on the first layer that is the body color. So our blue here. Go Control C, which is copy, and go to our next one. And I'm actually gonna skip the baby for now, and I'm gonna go to teen. Because again, this one has everything. You can go to the bottom, down to body. I'm gonna paste that layer in there and get rid of the layer that was in there from the template. And that's just with the trash can again. These are all your layer options here at the bottom. We're going to go back to the adult. We're going to have a look at the body shade. And it's at 28%. Go back to teen. Change this to 28%. Going to go to body light. It's at 75%. Go back to the teen. Change that to 75. All right, next, the wing and spike color. All right, so we're going to copy that. We're going to find wing and spike color. I'm going to click the layer from before and get rid of that. And I'm going to click the little circle beside wing so that that is no longer visible. Back to adult. See, what we had is wing shade, which was 12. Wing highlight is at 10. Back to teen. All right. At 10. We can ignore the wing because it's not there. Eye color. Click on eye color, Control C. Over to teen. Find the eye. Control V. Click the layer that was there. Click the trash can. Back over to our adult. And we just keep doing this. Eye shade is 69. Light is 69 too. Ooh, cool. Alright, it's already there. I2. This is unique to teen, so you can kind of play with it and see what looks good. This is lines, which we're leaving alone. It's eye black, which we're leaving alone. And the eye cross line is also black. Usually, I leave that at black. So we'll be able to leave those. We'll continue up here. Okay, horns. So Control C. And the horns on here, Control V. Get rid of the one that's there with the little trash can. And 36%. Belly, Control C. And that one. At 100%. And that's it. So with the lines, you'll take your eyedropper and capture those colors with the eyedropper from your adult, and then go over to teen. And I'll just do the blue ones. But yeah, with the mouse, it kind of hurts my wrist to do that, so I'm gonna leave it like that. But that is how you would, if you wanted them to match completely, you could use the eyedropper and do it that way. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and save as. We're gonna go Ocean Dragon Teen and save. And you just do the same thing for each version of the dragon. Now the baby has this unique trait of the eye detail, so I'm just making it another version of the purple. I'm just kind of playing around seeing what looks good here. Okay, so that's everything but the lines for the baby. I'm going to go ahead and save as, and there's the egg. So these are very simple dragons, and you can always, of course, add stuff to them if you would like. So I suggest always adding things on a new layer, because that'll help you go back, and also saving as rather than saving over the template. That way you have something to go back to. So if you wanted to add like some markings on the body, you go into the body section here, which is down at the bottom. You'd want to go over the body color probably. And you'd create a new layer, which is this button right here. And then you'd be able to draw whatever you want. And it is going to automatically clip. And that means it's just going to go over the body that I've already colored in for you. If you don't want it to do that, you can move the layer wherever you want, and you can unclip it, and you can move it around to wherever you want it to be. So that's how I use Fire Alpaca to color the 4 stages of reading dragons, complete with how to color the line art, or if you'd like, you can just leave the line art black and it still looks pretty good. Thanks to our line art artist, Mallory. So of course, if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me at Strausel, that's STRAUSEL, at doverlibrary.org with any questions. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.